It is a scam when you don't allow everyone to operate on fair terms.
We are the Robin Hoods of sports betting. We take something back from the rich bookies and enable our customers to beat them instead.
Yeah, so I've had a look over the prelims. I've not had a chance to dig deep into every single prelim fight, but one that stood out to me was Song Woo Choi, who's fighting Youssef Zalal, and that's one of the early prelim fights. So Song Woo Choi is 28. He's fighting out of South Korea. He's had 3 fights in the UFC. Most recently, he beat a guy called Suman Mokhtarian, who's a fellow Aussie. So you got one there. Before that, he lost to Gavin Tucker and Mosfar Evloev, who are both really good wrestlers. And he's not fought since December 2019, and his opponent, Youssef Zalal's fought 4 times in 2020. So that's kind of just something that might be a negative for him. But I really like the guy. Despite his 2 losses in the UFC, he's fought really tough competition. He's very rangy. He uses his reach really well. He's got good stand-up. He's got a Muay Thai background. He's got good kicks. And he doesn't rush things either. He's quite a patient guy. And Zalal, he kind of dances around on the outside a lot. He's very explosive in and out. He moves side to side and then darts in. And I don't think that Sung Woo Choi will really bite too much for that. And I think he's got a good style to kind of keep him on the outside and pick him off with straight punches and low kicks. And Sung Woo Choi's wrestling is pretty decent, although he did get out wrestled by Tucker and Evloev. He showed some resistance in those fights. He showed that he's not helpless on the ground. He has got some ground skills himself. So a slight concern again in his chin. He has been knocked out before. He was knocked out in one of his Korean fights quite early, within a minute. So he got caught cold there. And I did watch his fight against Mokhtarian, and he took a shot there that wobbled him a bit. So he's not got that famous South Korean chin that some of these guys, like Korean Zombie. He's got just a renowned chin. So unfortunately, he doesn't have that. But I think, he had a good chin as well. And there was another guy that fought Peter Yan as well. I don't know, Choi. He lost, didn't he? And then kind of disappeared. And it was the same guy that fought Peter Yan as well. He just had a ridiculous chin. But unfortunately, this choice doesn't seem to have that famous South Korean chin. But I think he could be a problem for Youssef Zalal. I mean, Zalal does look like a really good fighter, but he's not massive for that weight. He's going to be giving up some reach. He likes to use his kickboxing. He likes to stay on the outside. He has got decent wrestling, but I think from what I've seen that he doesn't have a huge wrestling advantage over Choi. So given that you can get Choi at about 3.0, you can get a little better on the exchanges. I think that's worth a bet.
Yeah, okay, yeah, just looking at the odds now, you can get 3s at Bet365 and Betfred. So would you go much lower than that?
I'd just take that 3 if you can get it. I wouldn't. I mean, Zalal, like I say, he fought 4 times last year. He's a bit of recency bias going on. He's more well known. I don't think that Choi will probably get backed in till. There might be some sharp money that comes on late, but I don't think that price will disappear. And another thing is that Zalal's taking this fight on short notice as well. Choi's had about 2 different opponents drop out, so Zalal's taking this on a week's notice. So obviously that's something you've got to consider too. But yeah, it just looks a bit too wide for me. I think Choi should be a little bit shorter, maybe the 2.7, 2.8 range.
Okay, all right, awesome, mate. And for those who want to know what happened to Do Choi, because I'm fascinated, because there was so much noise about him, and I was just looking up his record on Sherdog, and he lost to Cub Swanson, Stevens, and Charles Jourdain by knockout 3 times in a row. He lost to Cub Swanson by decision, and then he hasn't fought since December 21, 2019. I might have a guess here, and it is just a massive guess, that he might be doing his military service or something for South Korea, because isn't that a thing?
Possibly. Yeah, Korean Zombie had to do that, yeah. Yeah,
Zombie did it for 2 years, and even what's his name? Sun, Hung-Min Sun, or whatever his name is, for Tottenham. He did 3.
Oh, right, yeah.
He did 2 months or something. I don't know, something like that. But
yeah. Possibly. I don't know. It's just like I say, it's just kind of gone quiet, hasn't it? So.
Yeah, maybe I should just do some quick research now to see if he's doing his military time. Just turn this podcast into a do Hui Choi. Where's he gone?
What did they call him? The Korean Wonder Boy. Did they call him that?
The Korean Superboy.
Superboy. That was it. Yeah.
But I remember his fight with Cub Swanson. That was epic. Yeah.
Yeah, came in and he was just knocking guys out originally, wasn't he? He was it was going to be like the next Asian superstar, but just didn't, fell through. But
yeah, all right, mate. Anything other than the any other fights in the prelims or in the main event that you like?
Yeah, so I just had a little look, just look over the props and see if there was any value. And I think there's two kind of value props on the undercard. So one of them is Danilo Marquez. He's fighting a guy called Mike Rodriguez. And you can get Danilo Marquez submission at 7.5 or so. I'll just bring it up myself. I think that's with Betfair Paddy Power Group. Sorry.
Yeah, 7.5 Marquez by decision. I'll bring it up on my screen too.
No, by submission. Sorry.
Yeah,
7.5. Yeah, so I just like Marquez. He's not the greatest stand-up fighter, and Rodriguez is probably going to piece him up on the feet, but he will go for takedowns and he will try and initiate grappling. And we've seen kind of Rodriguez be submitted before. Like most recently, I think he got submitted by Herman, and Marquez trains with Damian Maia, so he's obviously going to be pretty adept at submissions. And I just think it just stood out to me as like, Marquez knows that to win this fight he's going to have to grapple, and and we've seen Rodriguez be submitted and kind of be susceptible to getting caught with stuff. So 7.5, that's I think that's pretty decent.
Cool, mate. And was that all, or I think you had something else?
Yeah, and then there was one more, and that was also a submission prop, and that's Clay Guida. And I could say that you could get Clay Guida to win by submission at 12 over Michael Johnson. And it's kind of a similar style matchup, I suppose. It's like he's going to be outmatched on his feet. Johnson's, very fast. He's got good combination punching, and Guida's going to need to wrestle and get this fight to the floor to have a chance of winning. And then again, we've seen Johnson, like in his fight with Darren Elkins, he kind of just gave him a choke. And we've seen him time after time give up submissions. Johnson, he seems to be a guy that doesn't really like being put on his back. Like, well, nobody does really, but he seems like sometimes he finds a way out. And although Guida hasn't been submitting guys recently, he does have a few submissions in his arsenal. He's got decent chokes, and again, just odds of 12 just stands out to me that that's a pretty decent prop to take. So. Yep.
All right. Sounds good to me, mate. It's incredible to think that Guida's still going around just on that subject. Like he's been fighting for a very, very, very long time, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started watching it, I think he was like fighting on the undercards and stuff. So yeah, he's must be like 15 years, I imagine, at least. Well,
has he still? I haven't watched him for a long time, but he's still got that wacky style with the head movement and body
herky jerky style. yeah, I think he's tamed it down a little bit, but he used to be like really wild, didn't he? He was like non-stop, just bobbing about, hair flying everywhere.
Yeah, he's a character.